Yes, team, what is happening? Welcome back to the channel. So we are sat here with my legend client Ash. So we've just had a review call. We've just been planning out the end of this year and the new year. So Ash, introduce yourself first and foremost.
So I'm Ash. I joined Tribe start of October, and we've been what is it 2 months now, isn't it?
2 months. This is that
2 months.
crazy, actually.
Yeah, it's flown by, hasn't it? But it's been so enjoyable because from where I started in October, where I was pretty much at my lowest I've been in a good few years personally, like as in my body image and how I felt as a person. And I think when we even had a chat probably at the start of the year, didn't we, really? And I was always
Yeah.
on the fence. I was like, kind of wanted to dip my toe in and didn't. And I think because I weren't ready to commit myself to doing it. And I thought, do you know what it was? When I had a track day in Anglesey in September and I was putting my levers on. It was a 2 day track day and I was putting my levers on and I got out of breath doing that. And I thought, who am I kidding? How can I go on a 2 day track day and I can't even put my levers on without getting out of breath? And I thought something needs to change here. So that's when I was sat there one evening and I think I messaged you, didn't I? And I said, and you said, just do it.
So need to change, yeah. Need to
And
do
then we
this
done it, mate. And yeah, and what, 40, £13 down, £14 down, stone down anyway. In
easily.
2 months.
Yeah.
Uh, the best I've ever felt.
Yeah, we'll
And
come on to that in a second, but like that's an interesting point because again, obviously I'm biased towards what we do, but like we spoke last like the start of the year. I've just took on a guy this week as well who's I was spoke back in July and he wasn't ready. And I can always say like, there's never a right time to start, but I would rather you be willing to do it as opposed to just dip your toe in. And I think sometimes you have to go through that like a realization point, and it might have been the leathers for you, or it might be like a belt for someone else, or it might be a way you feel. Just things to go, you know what, something needs to change here. And then I know from obviously being biased, what we do is that I know it can benefit so many people. So when people take the jump, like I'm just so glad that it happens because you understand what sort of happens. And obviously the likes of these testimonials with yourself are showcasing that to people who maybe don't trust me right now because trust's through the floor in our industry, which I'm fully aware of.
mm,
So let's start there. Like, what was your concerns before starting? Like, why did you think was it like ego? I don't need this. I can do it myself. Like, what was it that stopped you
I think
from
because
quitting?
I've been on and off the gym for a good 10 plus years. And yeah, a bit of like, I don't need someone to tell me what to do type of thing.
Exactly.
Because you see all these videos and you have all these plans on your phone, you think, I'll do that. I'll just stick to that. That's free. I can, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't need anyone to tell me I'm doing something wrong. And I've always went into the gym and not had a structure behind it, not had any accountability for doing anything like, like when you're doing an exercise, you don't know if you're doing that right or not. You're just
You
going off
do.
yeah, a still image on your phone of how a bench press looks or whatever, and you don't really have any accountability of saying, no, you do this technique or try it this way or something like that. So you might be doing the exercise, but you might be doing them wrong. So it's pointless you doing them. And I think having your app where it shows you the detailed videos of how you do that exercise, it's it's that's priceless in itself.
Yeah,
Um,
that's one
I think
thing.
that massively helped me out because although you are on the other end of the phone and I've bounced questions off you in the past, there's so much on that app that you can just revert to. Like when we were speaking about the running, and you're like, yeah, just go on that kettlebell, and there's a list of exercise that you can do on there. So it's like you've got a coach just on the end of your phone.
It's a lot of people I know, and it's the way that people buy as well, like psychology, like men and women can buy differently. So men are very like, again, we have this ego of like, I can do it myself. Like, I've done it in the past. Like, I know what I need to do. And you can scream like, I need to be in a deficit, I need to lift, etc. But actually putting that into practice, it's more than just them layers. It's like, again, having someone there, having purpose is a big one around like this thing, being surrounded by the right people, wearing the badge, so to speak. And like there's more to it. And don't get me wrong, like online coaching as well is like there's a massive spectrum You can have a £10 app, or you can have a, I don't know, whatever these people are charging over in these mad places. But you've got like a full spectrum of what that sort of looks like, and I'm fully aware that not everyone requires what have, but not everyone needs a £10 app. Some people are going to suit better with what we do, and some people are going to suit better with something else, which we're absolutely fine with. But
It depends on what you want out of it, isn't it? And it's like when I first reached out to you, I just wanted to forget everything I've ever learned or anything that I've picked up on, and just being honest with myself, and thought, right, I need proper help, and I need to listen to what people have got to say, because you know better than me. So I'll just listen to you, type of thing. And
that's
it is
it.
just park your ego for a bit and just listen to what people have got to say, and
Right?
get
Love
how much
that.
to lift or anything like that. And when I first started back with you, I just reset, lifted lighter weights to start with, and then built from that. Don't go in where you think you should be or what you used to do, because you're just gonna demoralize yourself when you can't lift that weight, and then you're back to square one again.
You get injured or whatever it is. But
Yeah.
like I call them, like there's a difference between like why clients and how clients.
Mm.
And like why is like, oh, why do I have to go to the gym? Like the people who like actively need to be motivated to do that. And then you've got the people who we help, which are like you, which are the how clients. Like I already do this thing. Ask questions. How do I optimize this? How do I make it better? Because there's nothing worse, in my opinion, than doing something over and over and over and over again and nothing changing. Like, what is the actual point? Whereas we can go, you're wasting so much time, so much energy, so much effort thinking that you're doing all these things right, when actual fact, you just streamline it. And what in the last 2 months we've dropped £14, which is, the most that you probably lost. Not probably the most you've ever lost, probably not, but like definitely way of doing it and sustaining it is probably the big
Oh,
one, isn't it?
and enjoying it. That's
And
the thing.
enjoying it.
Yeah, I've dropped weight before and not been happy, not slept well, not ate right, been sore. And that's a good thing as well, because I've been dieting properly, having
Hmm.
my electrolytes, drinking a lot of water. I've been waking up in the morning, being able to move, and not being in agony with my muscles, because they've overworked. Um, and sleep's massively helped. I've not been drinking alcohol, so I've been sleeping like a baby. Been getting a
Up every
lot of
hour.
yeah, I know. Yeah, what was the other day? I had 9 hours sleep, mate. Who has 9 hours sleep now?
Especially when
Uh,
you have the opposition, you're right.
I know.
That's a part of it. Like
Do you know,
you've
like
done it
when
before.
past I've been working out and I get up in the morning, you can't even have a shower because your muscles are that sore. But because they're sore, but the recovery process of it's so much quicker because I'm eating properly and drinking properly and sleeping properly.
Going back to what I said earlier, like people, especially men, think that I need to just move loads more. I need to eat lots less, which is the right thing to do. But there's a
Paper, yeah.
way of doing it. There's a way of doing it. You're like, I'll just go into the floor. I need to move loads. I need to eat less food, and oh yeah, you lose weight 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. Then it gets really disheartening because things become really difficult, and then you're putting a barrier up against yourself to go like, how do people get to these positions? Because I can't sustain
Yeah.
this. And that's where we've sort of streamlined. And in my opinion, we just spoke about this before we started recording, was we turn the dial up, but we haven't turned the dial to 10 because we don't need to. And if you
No.
turn the dial anymore, it's going to affect them areas that you're actually enjoying, which is your energy level, your enjoyment level, and all them sorts of things. So why would we want to do that? Do you know what I mean?
And I think it's like that. I never thought I would go on as many runs as I have been doing as well. Within 2 months of working out on a every other day or a daily basis, and then adding runs into it, that's when I know I'm in a good position where I can do that,
Yep.
because I wouldn't have been able to do that in my previous times of working out. I wouldn't have been able to have the energy to go on a run in the morning and then a gym session in the evening. I wouldn't have been able to do that because I wouldn't be motivated to do that. Do you know what I mean? And
You
I
wouldn't have
think
the energy to do it.
being part of Tribe and having all that community behind you, you see all these runs happening, and you see all these personal goals being matched, and you're thinking, no one's going to get my goal for me apart from me. So get up and do it. No one's gonna put me in a better position unless I do it. So yeah, it's been great, mate. Loved it.
100%. Like that's it. Like surround yourself with good people, have that really, really clear target. I was gonna ask you that. I think a lot of people, again, you just explain what your job role is, and obviously you're a dad and you've got kids and stuff. Like people assume like adding this extra like thing on top of an already busy life. As you said, no one gets 9 hours sleep because everyone's proper hustlers now. How how is it? How was your perception of when you first started? Do you think it was going to take a lot of effort and energy compared to what actually happened?
Thought it would be obviously it is all on me, but I didn't think I'd have the support that I've had. Not even just off you, just off everyone else, because everyone's in it for the right reasons, and you
Hmm.
can't do it alone. It's a fitness journey can be lonely, and that's when people
Very,
fall out of love with it, and they're
very.
thinking, "This is lonely. This it's only me dieting. I'm eating different foods than my family are." Which in reality, you don't need to do that. Like I've never enjoyed food so much than I have done this last 2 months. It's mad because I
I
look
haven't
forward.
less.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to eating because I'm eating nice foods, healthy foods, and then not being dead strict. Like them M&S cookies, mate. You need to try them. They're unbelievable. Like,
Do you know what?
wh-
And that chocolate bar everyone's going on about was
yeah,
cost about
like
20 quid. I need to get that one as well.
in the past, I've said no to that cookie because I think if I do that, I've unraveled all my progress. Which in
What did
reality,
you have
it's
at the
not.
weekend as well?
I had Dominoes.
There you go.
I had a full Domino myself. And you know what, mate? My weight didn't even move.
Exactly
It's
that.
It fluctuated a tiny bit, but I thought I'm going to step on these scales and half a stone's putting on. But in reality, it's not because you put in all that hard work and you're banking calories if you are going to eat like a Domino's on the weekend and then you don't beat
Exactly
yourself
that.
up in the morning.
Exactly that. So obviously, like I've been like Josh, who's the last like testimony we had, and Martin as well. Like you guys are all we're all in a similar position. All got a family, all work in a busy job, responsibilities, management, etc. And I said a lot of people think that I can't add any more stress to my life. Whereas I actually think like, do you think by adding this in and focusing on yourself, it's made them areas better? Or do you think it added more stress onto your life?
Um, Anything
No.
made it better. Like coming
Easier?
into in like a positive mental attitude that feeds down to the team, all the teams buzzing, you're buzzing. Yeah, it's great, mate. And I think if you bet yourself, you're betting in everything around you. That's where I look at it. Imagine you go
100%.
being overweight, not being bothered to do anything. You've not got no motivation to do anything. That's going into your work like that. Yeah,
I
so
understand like one of my big missions, and like this is where it, might be deep, but like one of my big missions in life is to make men better. And that sounds really like Andrew Tatey, but what I mean by that is if you think about it, you wake up reactive, you get in traffic reactive, you go to work reactive, everyone gets a worse piece of you. You're getting things thrown at you because life's tough at the minute. Then you get home from work and you pass that on to your family, and then you go to bed angry, and then you wake up the next day and it's just the same cycle over
same
and
thing.
over again.
I'm a strong believer, mate. You can only control the controllables, can't you? You can't control the traffic. Do you know what I mean? So what's the
Nope.
point of being beat up about it? The
But
controls that you
maybe
can
when
have.
you're feeling shitting yourself beforehand,
Uh,
that's gonna have an effect on your mood towards that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's dead interesting. I've just checked as well, by the way, like when you started, you was 90 kg
Mm.
and now you're at 79.7. So you've actually lost 22 pounds, not 13 or 14 pounds.
Why
So
is it
yeah.
mad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've lost a lot of weight there. But that's what I mean. Like it doesn't seem like it because it's not as difficult. In my opinion,
You
and
know,
like this is
mate.
where
Sorry to interrupt, but like it
no,
feels
I
like
don't.
I've bet more in 2 months than I have done. It's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy. But
Yeah.
I was gonna say then like a lot of people think like like in order to get where I need of course it comes with hard work. I'm not down your hard work at anyone else's because you have to put in effort, of course you do. But it's not as like daunting as people expect it to be. And I'm so like and I've said this many times before, I'm actually quite anti-fitness industry because the fitness industry has got this wall up about like in order to be here, you need to do all this madness and you need to eat out of Tupperware and you can only eat chicken and rice and you have to do a shoot prep in 8 weeks and all this. And it just puts the barrier right up there for people to actually get started or to optimize things. Whereas when you get coached by someone who sort of knows the struggles of what an everyday person has, i.e. family life, i.e. responsibilities, i.e. a business, or looks after people, you understand that it needs to fit into your lifestyle. So never at once have I told you you need to eat less or you need to go and train well more. It's just about making it fit into your lifestyle.
And one thing I was gonna say before, when we were having a little chat, when I've been away with work,
Hmm.
like you've not said, right, you need to do X, Y, Z. You've just literally left me to it. And I've I know I'm accountable for what I'm doing while I'm away. So I'll put that effort in to go on them runs in the morning if I can't get into the gym. And then I've not got you nagging at me saying you need to do this, you need to do that, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. Because your results show, don't they? And if you've not done the work, then it's gonna show. Type of
That's it.
thing.
The only time you get disappointed is when your expectations don't match your intentions. So if I know when you've been away with work, you've told me I'm away the next few days with work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my sessions. I'm going
Mm.
to get this done. Sound like that's your expectation. But if you don't do that, of course, you're going to come back and feel even worse because you've
Yeah.
set the intention of doing it and you've not done it. I can't do nothing about that, and you can't do nothing about that. Whereas every time you've done it, you've committed to what you've said you would do. And same with everyone. Like, I honestly believe like you can stack wins or you can stack losses. If you keep saying I'm going to do this and you don't do it, you're just putting yourself further in that loss bucket. Whereas if you weigh in today, or you make good decisions with your food, or you get that run done, or them step count done, or whatever, you stack wins over time. You end up losing 10 kilos over 2 months, and then you go win, 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 win. And how well do you feel because you're doing the thing that you set out to do? Whereas flip that on its head, when you back in the day, how frustrated was you at the start when you thought like you kept doing it and kept falling out of it because
Yeah.
it wouldn't stick
I
because
know.
you can't do it because it's too hard.
To get to a good place, you can't do it alone though. And I've tried that. Like I've tried doing it all on my own. And yeah, I went in and out of online coaches and never really gelled with anyone because they're either all into lifting or
Very fitnessy. That's the
yeah.
word.
It's like that's boring. That bores me. Like I want to mix it up. I want to do a bit of running. I want to do a bit of lifting. I want to do a bit of swimming. It's just like there's no like full on structure that says this is my program. You need to follow it to that. Where you
Yeah,
tailor it to me. How
you
and
don't
what?
fit my mold.
Yeah,
I fit your mold. That's
yeah.
a big one. People always like, especially that side of the industry, like this is work for me, so I'm going to tell everyone how to do it. Whereas, of course, personal experience comes into play. Like I practice what I preach. I run marathons. I lift. I do all that. But like, I don't ever say you need to do what I'm doing because that's coaching's not like that. Coaching's going, how do I make this individual meet them where they're at and make them better based on where they currently are, which is exactly what we've sort of done. But like, I think a big one is that like I again, it's hard for me to say this because I'm biased to it. So this is why I speak to the people like yourself. Is that it's not just about me and you though. Like it's the community. I think it's the purpose as well outside of. If you think about the trifecta of life, you got work, you got family, and you got lifestyle. The lifestyle bucket's often lost because men just think they're a parent or a business owner or a manager or a worker, and you've got nothing outside of work. But it just gives you that purpose when you're surrounded by people and you're working on yourself to complete that trifecta. Sounds really deep, but that's why I honestly think I believe in.
That's right,
So
mate. Mhm.
yeah, I can't preach it enough, mate. But I said drop 10 kilos, lowest in yourself. Like I just wrote this down on the post, so that's why you probably see me writing. So you went from lowest in yourself. Where do you think you are now? Give me like a little quote or how you feel in yourself.
That's deep, mate. I've never answered that.
But you just said there,
I'd
like I was the
say
lowest when you started.
clear-minded. Clear-minded, like there's no fog at the minute. I know what I'm doing. I know what is about to happen. Like every day when I wake up now, I know that I go to work, get home, go to the gym, and then have tea at night and see my family. Like I've never had that nice structure where it feels like a chore. Like
Mm.
now it feels like an enjoyment because I'm gaining from it. And I'm happier and I'm sleeping better and I'm a bit more enjoyable to be around. Well, yeah, I've not heard it. I'd like to
No
think
one's
so.
told you.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, don't know. It's like I think I'm just a bit more. Do you know what sounds cheesy, mate? I feel blessed. I do. I just feel calm, relaxed, and grateful for this journey. And it's only been 2 months.
It's crazy that.
Yeah, it's been 2 months, and then tell you what though, mate, it's been an expensive 2 months. I've never bought so much fitness clothing in my life.
I
I think I
know.
bought about 4 pairs of shoes, running trainers. I think I bought loads of running tops and stuff. But because I'm enjoying doing it. I look forward to them little gains where I'm getting a new outfit for running, getting a new outfit for the gym because I'm feeling confident about myself.
And you're
Um,
progressing.
yeah,
Because
and
if
I'm
you
getting.
wasn't, you wouldn't play
Yeah.
it.
Of course, mate.
So
Yeah.
it's all there. Like that's it.
You
Like
know what I
again,
found as well? Like when I first started the gym, you're kind of like in this little shadow of yourself, and you think, I hope no one notices me. Or now I'm talking to people and like getting to know people in the gym and feeling like you're part of something, and not just like, oh, everyone's watching me, and I hope I don't do this wrong. Or because I know my structure and know my routine and know my exercises now, and that's going off the back of your advice. I'm confident in going into the gym now and putting in the work. And parking the
100%.
ego at the front door, mate. And like, you don't need an ego when you're going in the gym. No one's
That's it.
bothered, are they? No
No
one's
one's
bothered.
bothered.
Yeah.
No one's bothered, and that's the big thing. Like you need to just, I think, and again, you can go deep into this, but men require purpose and progress. So like, if you're not progressing, you feel like you're lacking fulfillment. That's definitely true for me. If I'm not doing something, whether it's I'm not moving forward, and you could say that quote is like proud but never satisfied. If I'm not doing something like pushing me
I used to
boundaries
have
or
that on my
trying to
Instagram bio,
improve,
but
let's say.
proud but never satisfied. I used to have that on my Instagram bio.
There you
Yeah.
go, proud but never satisfied. But it's like people think, oh, you can't be happy with what you've currently got. That's different. Whereas you can be happy with what you've currently got, but you can always be striving to become better because personal development's a life thing. Whereas I said, if I haven't got an event in the diary, or if I'm not trying to improve in one area, or if I'm not trying to improve my business or improve my client results or whatever, I feel lost. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. So when you're going around in circles, with no real progress or no real purpose, no wonder that you feel a little bit low because you haven't got a focus.
Yeah, and you lost, aren't you? That feeling
You're
of being,
lost.
yeah.
That's why we're trying to build this thing where we help men come together, build this with purpose, perform, progress, live better lives. Like on the grand scheme of things, that's what the mission is. And you embody that. So thank you.
Been a pleasure.
Anyway, anything you want to round up with before we finish
No, I
off?
think if anyone's on the fence like I was 2 months ago, and you want to better yourself and become a better person, then just do it. Because if you don't do it, you'll just be in the same position you was at the start of the year or 3 months ago, or you'll
When you
just be,
first inquired, when was that? January or something? Last year, maybe?
what would it be, mate, wouldn't it? And I
Last
think
year.
we there, and then I was like, yeah, I want to do it because you have all the intentions of doing it, but you commit yourself to doing it. That's the biggest thing, commitment, isn't it? Commit yourself to be a better person. Because
Need to commit. And again, if we can sort of do that about having a chat or whatever, or lowering the barrier, whatever that looks like for you to get an idea of what we do, or make it a no-brainer for you, then I said conversation, that's all it takes. That's all it
And it's an
takes.
investment into yourself, isn't it, mate? It's like, look how
Yeah,
much money you waste on rubbish and you never
mm,
benefit from it. And the small fee of bettering yourself, why would you not want to do that?
exactly that. Again, people think, oh, this is an extra. Again, same thing with like extra stuff. It's an extra expense, but actually, when you dig deep into it, you probably spend what you'd spend on ale at one point,
It's
or
true. Mate, I
whatever.
used
You
to
know
have
what I
a
mean?
wine subscription, and
You are.
I used to have a wine subscription. So like a
Did you?
month
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
payment would go out and I'd get wine delivered to my house. Yeah, but that's the old me that.
That's what I mean. I'm not ever telling someone that, oh, you need to like cut back on that to afford this or to pay for this. That's not my job to say that. Or like, I hate when people say, cut out that coffee and you can pay. Like, that doesn't make sense. But
No.
what makes sense is going, actually, yeah, if you think about it, I'm probably spending £200 on a takeaway, for example, or £100 here, or £300 here, or whatever it is. And you go, actually, yeah, if I didn't do that, it's fine, and
And
it
you're going to
benefits
be a better person.
me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no-brainer.
again,
But
I
I
can sit
don't
here
want
all
to do it,
day.
haven't you, mate? Like
Yeah,
we've
that's
spoken
it.
in the past, and like even a couple of days ago, you've got to want to do it because no one's
Yeah.
doing it for you.
And
You
I'm not
can
going
pay.
to sit here and go, I'm
Yeah,
going to make you do it. I'm not.
yeah,
Because, as I said, I'm here to be the guide and, yeah, inspire people and give people the roadmap. But ultimately, as you said, you've got to be the one person who's ready to do that, as opposed to me trying to pull blood
mm,
from a stone. It's just not going to happen.
no,
So you're ready. You ready. You committed when you're ready, and you're reaping the reward. So again, it'd be good to. I said you've got longevity in the game. Like you want to sort of probably jump on at another point in the future and see how further along we are on the journey. I said we're only 2 months in. The reason I've got Ash on a call now is A, because we had a review call anyway, but I think if I was to take like a lot of my clients as well, 30 kilos lost, 3 stone lost, marathons ran, it's quite a big goal. Whereas if you find something that's only, happened over the last 4 or 8 weeks, you realize that it's not that
yeah,
far away.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
When you do see these people and like, oh, I've ran my first marathon, that might
Yeah,
feel a million miles away from where
that's
you
right.
are at the minute. So then in some people that can be demoralizing, can't it? They can say, "Oh, I'll
Yeah.
never be able to do that." But look where you can be in 2 months' time. Look where you can be in 6 months' time. Like I want to set my goal for next year where I am doing a high rocks or I am doing a half marathon. I've not said I am going to do a marathon next year because I don't want to put that pressure on myself and me not fulfill that. I might
Mhm.
get to 6 months' time and be ready for a marathon, but I'm not going to put that on my shoulders at the minute because I'm
That's
enjoying
it.
winning.
But it'll happen at some point when you've done the thing that gets you there. So half will be first, and you do that, and you go, actually, what's next? And you unlock these new doors constantly. But
Mm.
as I said, like you've got to be enjoying that process. So as I said, we'll check back in 2025 and see what else we've done, and that'd be quite scary. But you're right, like it's hard for me to go like, look at this massive goal that this person's achieved, or this person's achieved, or that person's achieved. It seems so far off, but like if I can say to you, you can drop 4 kilos in your first month, that's an amazing goal, and it's not that far away. So that makes it a little bit more like anyone. And I'm not saying like you're a normal person, but you're a normal person.
We
I'm
didn't
a
when
normal
it first
person.
started, like we had a goal in mind, didn't we? But it was never like you're on track for your goal or you need
Yeah,
to do this to get. We've just well, I'm speaking for myself. I've enjoyed it and not even thought about that end bit at the minute because I've been putting the work in. And naturally, I remember on our first call, you said just think about the inputs
yeah,
and then the result will be there. If you've done the inputs and you've done the work, don't worry about the result because it will be
that's
there.
it. Just got
Yeah.
your roadmap up right now. What did we say we'd be by the 3rd of December? We said we'd be at 80.7 kg. We're
What am I?
at 79.7.
It's mad, innit?
So we're on target.
Yeah.
But again, in the background, we've been aiming for this. But as I said, you're not being super tight to it. Whereas if you didn't hit that target, you'd be like, oh, what's the point? You look back and go, actually, I've lost 9 kilos to 10. Oh,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? So like it's good to have them targets and that roadmap and that clarity. Again, same thing with like people really lack is in the gym, they're going around in circles, but with you, it's like, where are we going? What's that look like? What the inputs and what is the outcome for that? And this is where we should expect to be. And all of a sudden you're there. So I said, you're absolutely flying, mate. I'm over the moon with it. Follow up Ash's journey as well. I said we'll jump back on in the new year, but we'll round it off here, mate. But I said, pleasure. Let's keep it going. And yeah, let's keep it going.
It's smashing, mate.
Legend.